Well, put some ice on it, Kevin. The swelling should go down in a couple hours. As you very well know, here at the facility, I hold weekly sparring tournaments to see who gets to stand at the front of the cafeteria lunch line. And this week, I don't know, I really want that lunch, and I feel like I could use a little bit of extra speed or something. And that's why today, we are going to be making Dragon Ball Z accurate weighted clothing. Will it get us Kaka ripped, or will our fitness Frieza in place? Well, there's only one way to find out. Get those knees up, Kevin!
Now entering the facility.
For the less anime inclined among you, Goku is the main character of immensely popular anime and manga Dragon Ball Z. Goku is also a muscle dummy with a heart of gold who at one point famously reveals that he trains to get faster and stronger with weighted clothing. Now, in terms of the actual science here, like we would usually get into, I've already done a lot of the weighted legwork. In fact, a few years ago, I published a video that I don't have access to anymore for some reason, but I published a video evaluating all the available studies on weighted clothing, and the aggregate conclusion of those studies was more or less negligible benefits with many potential injury-related downsides. So I said, don't wear Goku's weighted clothes. But a few years later, and over 9,000 comments saying that, well, Kyle, you didn't test the weighted clothes. Okay, I guess that's true, so it's time for some personal experience on this question. That's not how science works. That's not how any of this science works, but today's the day, nerds. We're gonna get anime-accurate Goku clothing and see what happens. But before we begin, what are we really testing here? Sick. In the literature, training with weighted clothing is generally referred to as hypergravity training. It's a dope name for a very simple concept. On Earth, your weight as measured by something like a scale is the product of your mass and some acceleration. The acceleration in question here is provided by the Earth's 6 trillion kilograms trying to pull you down to the literal center of the Earth. But the Earth's surface gets in the way and there's some reactionary force, and this balance of the two forces is what a scale would measure your weight. Hypergravity training then is artificially changing this balance so it's as though you are standing on the surface of a planet much heavier than Earth. Canonically, Goku's weighted clothing is 140 kilograms and he is just 62 kilograms. That's lighter than ya boy here. So if you do some basic math, Goku's weighted clothing provides over 3 Gs of artificial gravity. That is higher than any surface gravity of any planet in the solar system. Yes, even Jupa-Jup. Now, I want to be clear, when I make my weighted clothing, I am not going to shoot for over 3 Gs. For one, carrying over 440 pounds for an extended period of time is probably going to kill me. Two, and more importantly, there is literally not a material dense enough on Earth to make fabric that weighs that much. So I'm going to be shooting for 1.5 G. Don't worry, that's still very heavy. It's heavier than most military personnel carry on a regular basis and heavier than any weight vest you can buy just off the shelf, and my whole body is going to be weighted. The only problem here is that I don't know how to sew clothing, and so to the elevator! To make my clothing as anime accurate as possible, I'm returning to the surface to enlist the help of the company Castle Corsetry and their owner, Lauren Matesic. Her and her girls there are known for their rapid and fantastic fabrication of sometimes very silly costumes, like I will be asking her to make today. We'll be trying our best to make a gi that is Goku worthy, but keep in mind, I'm nor as short or ripped or light as Goku, and not generally enthusiastic about anything like he is. So the first thing that I have to do is get my digits of my body measured.
Hello, sewers of clothing.
Hello, Kyle. How are you today?
Well, I'm feeling a little bit Super Saiyan-y, so
Yes,
I need weighted clothing just like Goku.
Just so you can like get all pumped for your going, what is it, over 9,000?
Hey, you got it.
Yeah.
So what do we have to do first if we want to make a quality, like anime accurate costume? What do we have to do first?
Well, step one with any new costume is always going to be getting accurate measurements for you. So I'm going to have to get all of those numbers off of you and then we can make some magic happen.
I don't think I've ever measured myself with a ruler.
You don't do it with a ruler. You want a measuring tape.
Oh, sorry. I was an adolescent boy at one point. Anyway, let's get to it.
Wow, I look and feel awesome. This is Goku anime accurate weighted clothing. The lovely ladies at Castle Corsetry did a fantastic job, as is plain to see. But I should note, as we said, there is literally no material on Earth to make a weighted shirt for hypergravity training that would be this thin and nice and stretchy and flowy. So instead, we actually made another whole weighted outfit that I'll be wearing underneath this with a bunch of pockets I'll be putting into 1.5 equivalent G's worth of steel. So what I'm gonna do now is take all of this back to the facility and then get tested, if you know what I'm saying. To get an informed opinion about what it's actually like to wear Goku's weighted clothing, I'm going to be wearing my sick new duds literally all day, and I will be doing stuff that Goku might do in them. I will be producing the extra gravity I need with this pyramid of steel, 34 2.5 pound ingots from Rogue Fitness. I'll be putting them in my booties, in my wrists, in my back and on my front, and once I'm weighted down, it'll be as though I'm on a planet that's 50% more massive than Earth. And I know what some of you may be thinking at this point. Kyle, well, isn't this just a weight vest, some ankle and wrist weights? No, it's not. Because this is a custom-made solution to make Goku's weighted clothing as we see it actually viable. Lauren and the girls at Castle Corsetry worked for weeks on this to get the placing right, to get the fabric right, to make it look right. So I don't want to hear none of that talk from you in the comments, or else you're going to get Yamcha'd, all right? So there's nothing to it but to increase my gravity, which you could also say if you were getting fatter. But we're going to do this. Okay, so initial reaction. Before I've even done anything strenuous, I can already tell this is probably a mistake to do this to my body. What you don't realize is that having a lot of weight away from your rotation points on your body creates a lot of torque, and that torque is extremely stressful on the small muscles in your shoulders. And I don't know if I could get up from this chair, to be honest, and my feet feel like if I jumped in a river, I would die like a mob hit. But we gotta keep going, we gotta do the testing. So the first thing I wanna do before we do anything strenuous, we need to carb up and get some energy for the rest of the day. And so to do that, I have some ramen noodles, like Goku might eat. Okay, so let me just, okay, so this is fine. Nice cup o' ramen noodles. Let's just delicately use, oh, I have so little motor control here. Ah! I'm not exaggerating. Ow! Oh, it's putting so much weight on small muscles in my arms and wrist. Okay, so I think we're sufficiently carved up. Now, let's start our day of training with some light calisthenics. Make sure we get some light movement in there, get the body, get it moving. Let me just get up easily. Oh, this may have been a huge mistake. Okay, light calisthenics. If it looks like I'm walking, like it's a combination between I really have to poop and I'm on a different planet. The answer is yes. Just move. Can't hold that for more than a few seconds. Okay. Let's try some just some nice. Something moved. Okay. And there's so much additional weight on my butt. It's digging into my shoulders. My thighs are now quivering. You know what we got to do? Obviously, we're warmed up now. We have to go outside of the facility to see if there's any androids who eat other androids with their butt who need defeating. Well, I'm coming for you. Get those knees up, Kevin! Swear to...
Well, I don't see any androids around, but this looks like a nice place to recharge my key. Let's go. So this is almost like the reverse of being on Mars. On Mars, you're significantly less in weight, and this is the other way. All right, KO Ken, KO Kyle times 3. I will now attempt to run at full speed. Yeah. Okay, Goku is frequently sitting on his butt like this. I would like to do a quick test I call the get up from your Goku's butt test. Oh, I pooped some weights. Okay, no training session would be complete without trying to do some actual training. So let's go do that. Let me just get my glasses. Simple. Keep in mind that I am attempting to run. Ow. Oh, excuse me, boys. I gotta do some hypergravity training real quick. Oh, I pooped all my weights again. Watch and learn, boys. It's easy. It's no problem. Oh, this one's not so bad. Okay, I think I'm ready to make a conclusion about Goku's weighted clothes. I don't think you'll be so very surprised. Oh, jeez. I cannot stress to you enough how stressful this is. There's no planet in the solar system with surface gravity like I'm experiencing right now. Every part of the human body is evolved to deal with the gravitational acceleration of Earth. We evolved on Earth. But this, especially all day, no way, man. Just a second, let me get up. People fantasize about living on other planets. They think about the atmosphere, they think about the lack of food and water, but they almost never think about the gravity increase. And allow me to tell you that if the increase in relative gravity is even 10%, 20%, up to 50% like I am, it makes comfortable living impossible. And let me say again that if you are gonna head right into the comments and be like, 1.5G doesn't sound that bad, you try it. If this was Goku anime accurate, if I was wearing 3.3G effective increase clothing I don't think I'd be able to do very much at all. Which A, proves my point about weighted clothing, and B, shows you just how awesome Goku must actually be. I look happy, right?
Oh, so this should be the moment of truth, right? Like, I'm back in the facility, I've removed the weighted aspects of my clothing, and now it's time to fight Tien in his Cycloptean fighting style. But how do I feel? Well, I certainly don't feel like Goku, ready to jump in the air and punch super fast. I just feel tired. I've instantaneously created bruises and broken blood vessels on my wrists, my ankles, especially my shoulders. I feel lighter, but as light as I did before hypergravity. And you can hear it in my voice. I'm exhausted. Should you do this for any period of time? No. And that's also according to the research. I hope it was fun to watch, because it was not fun to do. Whew. So that's the conclusion, I suppose. Goku's weighted clothing? Nah. Until next time. Kevin? I should have listened to you. It was a bad idea.
Now exiting the facility.
Thank you so much to the very nerdy staff at the facility for the direct and substantial support in the creation of this here video where I got super tired. Today especially, I want to recognize research assistant Jeremy C. and visiting scholar Kevin. That better not be you. If you want to join the staff, if you want to join the nearly 1,300 nerds who every day are talking with me on Discord, giving me episode ideas, sharing videos and pictures of their pets with me, and I say, "Who up, dude?" You know, it's the internet. You can go to patreon.com/Kyle Hill and get on the staff today. And if you support the facility just enough, get your name here on Aria each and every week. And there's literally hundreds of you, so I don't know how I'm gonna pass the Wow, Kyle, you look tired. Yeah, I know. Do I? This is an interesting case where you have a feeling that personal experience will be so important to your conclusion. Where you have a number of studies that all say the same thing, like weighted clothing doesn't help all that much and you can hurt yourself. But you have this emotion that unless you try it yourself, the experience isn't valid or the conclusion isn't valid. And this is a big problem in science and science communication where there's so many things, especially related to health, that we have this emotional connection to. Like, oh, a doctor can't tell me to do this, that, or the other thing because I feel like it's not right. Or they don't know, they didn't try it. Or that medicine, someone said on the internet that it works, and what do they know? Well, this is why we remove ourselves from studies and try to remove personal experience from it, because oftentimes you have your own biases and it clouds your mind and your judgment, like the dark side. You want to be on the dark side. Okay, I'm mixing up pop culture stuff. I need to lay down.